is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi, when you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
U-Sports on CBC, presented by l'U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Theraburn Medical Supply, Les Bagues Baron Rings, BioSteel, Wilson, APAR, and by Student Housing Calgary.
Well, 28 years after they last met in a national semifinal, it is Bishops, it is Victoria, with a spot in the gold medal game on the line at this U-Sports Final 8. Two of the top teams in the country getting set to face off. Who gets Carleton? We're about to find out. Welcome inside the Jack Simpson Gymnasium. Everybody's here. There's Cami Kepke. There's Josh Arbuthnot. I'm Arash Madani. That's Jermaine Cummings. We will hear from Cami and Josh coming up in just a bit. You go back 1 week. Bishops was number 1 in the country. Vic was 2. Gaiters get upset in their conference title game. The Vikes end up winning Canada West. Now it's you, Vic, that's number 1. Bishops comes in effectively number 2 in the country, rankings aside. The two top teams coming into this tournament. Here we go.
Yeah, let's go back one day as well. 2 dominant wins for both of these squads yesterday, showing that they are ready for the tournament. And you hear some buzz around here in the Jack Simpson. A lot of people are looking forward to this to be the most impactful game of the entire Final 8 tournament. I, for one, believe we're in for a classic here tonight, and I can't wait to get this thing tipped, Arash.
The Vikes are the defending national champions. Bishops had not won a game at the Final 8 since they lifted the WP McGee Trophy in 1998. The winner gets Carleton. The Ravens just knocked off the bold, holding TMU to only 50 points. This will be an altogether different game than that.
That it will. This is going to be very nip and tuck. Defense is going to be front of mind for both of these squads. You already know what Bishops is able to bring defensively. You saw their team defense on display yesterday, and Etienne Gagnon as one of the best defensive players in the entire nation. Oh, what's that? Speaking of best defensive players in the entire nation, on the other side, Joffrey James, an Alberta basketball legend, doing his thing for the Victoria Vikes. I can't wait to see these two defensive vice grip specialists get to it here tonight. We're going to see what they got.
What a performance it was last night from that young man. 30 points, 9 rebounds, you see it there. But Charles Robert is not just a 6'9" post. He can step back and shoot it too.
Oh yeah, you want something inside, Charles has got you inside. But if you pack it in on him, don't think that he can't step it out to 15, even 20, 25 feet out and knock that thing down. He's such a pro at stretching defenses. I am very interested to see what exactly Murphy Bernatowski and his squad has up for Charles Robert tonight.
Yeah, and one thing when we talked to Robert last night, he said, I have to limit three-point shots that Ethan Bogue is going to attempt tonight.
That's right. On the other side, we have another stretch big, Ethan Bogue. And yeah, granted, little low scoring yesterday, only 12 points for Ethan going 0 of 3, but don't let that deter you from the fact that you are talking about the Canada West Player of the Year. Look for him to perform here when the lights are brightest. We're going to see if he's got it in him.
The Bishops University Gaiters out of Lennoxville, Quebec. We welcome all of you watching from the Eastern Townships. What a run it has been there. On Vancouver Island, everybody familiar with the run of these Victoria Vikes. the Canada West champions this year, the defending national champions. Effectively 1 versus 2 for a spot in the gold medal game. We will have the national semifinal coming up next on CBC Sports.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan. A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles. Des athlètes de grand talent. Des sports de haut niveau. Tout ça sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est simple et gratuit sur icitout.tv.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
With the whistles for the second of our national semifinals, Rob Caparici is our crew chief, Fei Zhang and Matt Boyle with him. Bishops versus Victoria. What in the name of Ryan Thorne and Eric Heinrichsen do we have here? 8 seniors for the Gaiters from the mighty Massawippi Shore. Victoria, loaded with experience. Bogue, James, fifth-year seniors, Shaden Smid, number 4. Our second national semifinal underway. Who gets Carleton? Will it be Bishops? Will it be Victoria? Here's Yanis Malanda getting things underway. Charles Robert, the offensive rebound. His roommate Etienne Gagnon cannot finish. And now the Victoria Vikes, 20-3 overall this season. They went 17-3 in Canada West. Come into this game having won 5 straight, in no small part thanks to Shaden Smid, whose three-point shot slips out. Victoria and Bishops went back and forth, 1 and 2 in the country throughout the season. Reggie Jean Seraphin cannot finish after his missed 3. Jean Seraphin started his university career at Carleton. How poetic if he'd get the Ravens tomorrow for a gold medal. And here's Charles Robert. You're going to hear his name throughout the night. The first team All-Canadian. Back and forth. 3-ball no for OBDK. And the rebound brought in by Cam Slaymaker.
Now you see the difference. In yesterday's game, you see Robert was able to back his defender down. Not going to be the case here. You see Smid putting up quite the fight. It's going to be up to Robert now to adjust his game a little bit and see if he can draw Smid away from the basket.
Ronaldo Robinson with the penetration. What a player he is. 14 for the Victoria Vikes, a senior from Montreal. So dynamic, did just a little of everything for the Vikes yesterday.
Oh, certainly. And my favorite part of Ronaldo's game is his footwork. Watch those feet when he flies in transition, as we see Smid go to work right there.
Yeah, that's Shaden Smith, the 6'7" senior from Duncan, BC. He opens scoring. Robert, 6'9". We told you he can shoot it. He's confident shooting it. Robinson, the rebound. Goes to work on OBDK. Malanda unable to control it. Yanis Malanda, a sophomore. Born in Paris, did high school in Quebec City, Cégep at Vanier. Malanda is the second leading scorer. A veteran Bishops team that has built themselves for this moment, for this Final Eight, with the 8 seniors that we told you about. Into the corner. There's Joffrey James. Triple for the senior. DK can't finish. Kicked out to Robert. Over Bogue, doesn't go. Robinson, they want to go with pace, the Vikes do. Here's Cam Slaymaker. Gets it back from James, and he's bumped by Reggie Jean Serafin.
There's C, and now you're going to see what happens when you leave Mr. Joffrey James open from the corners. We see Slaymaker go to work. But again, talking about Joffrey James, if you're not going to find him in transition, it's going to be a long night for you defensively if you're the Gators. You've got to pick up Joffrey James on the move.
So that is Joffrey James inbounding. What a road it's been for the fifth-year man out of Edmonton. His third different post-secondary program, as Robinson finds Smid, who can't finish, but Robinson controls the rebound. And now this is the Canada West Player of the Year, Ethan Bogue, who throws it into the hands of Tiernan McDougall. DK for 3. Vikes ball. More than 3 minutes gone by in this opening quarter, and the Gators are without a bucket.
Yeah, that's right. A lid on the bucket right now for Bishops, but good sign for them. They are getting good looks, whether it's Robert from the outside, getting inside as well. If they continue to get those good looks, eventually it'll start to fall for them.
So here's the matchup. It's Etienne Gagnon on Ethan Bogue. Robert's got Smith. 6'9" on 6'7", and it's Bogue finishing with the left hand, the first team All-Canadian.
Beautiful take as you see Ethan spin both over his left and right shoulder on one single solitary drive. Elegant finish.
Gators going into their bench. Our first look at Zach John, the backup point guard, as DK will take a breather. And there's Charles Robert, 10 in purple. True stretch 5 on this Gators roster. 6'9", 235. Was the player of the year in Quebec last season. They're looking for the big man. It's not there. Smid with the denial. Malanda kicks to John for 3. And finally, the Gators are on the board from Zach John, a triple, the senior from Scarborough, Ontario. Bogue can shoot it. He slithers into the paint, and what a finish.
Slithers is the perfect descriptor for what you just saw from Ethan Bogue. Gets thin, works his way between 2 Bishops defenders, and gives you a lefty lay. What a finesse.
McDougall, the senior from Vancouver, dishes it off to Gagnon, who didn't use the window. Smid with the rebound. Bishops looking for their first offensive board of the night. Joffrey James with the deep 3, and it's a 12-3 Victoria lead midway through the first quarter. The Vikes jumped out to a 7-0 advantage, now 12-3, and Robert draws the foul on Smid.
High IQ play right there from Charles Robert. You see Smid get that arm out in the lane. What do? You make sure you tie those arms up as well. It's a very big brain play right there from Charles Robert.
So, Robert, it wasn't just last night scoring 30. You're talking about 3-time University Athlete of the Year who has done everything. One of the most decorated basketball players in the history of the Gators program. And he draws another foul here. This time it's on a fellow fifth-year senior, Sergio Pereira. Gators quiet on offense to open things up. Timeout on the floor. We'll be back to Calgary for the second semifinal at the Final 8 on CBC Sports.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan. A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Inside both huddles here at the Jack Simpson Gymnasium on the right-hand side, the Bishop's huddle led by Matt McLean, the National Coach of the Year in U Sports basketball this season.
That he is, and if I'm Matt McLean in this situation, look, okay, we're down. We knew Victoria was going to come out of the gate strong. But as I was saying earlier on, if you're Bishops, you're getting good looks. The looks that you want are there. You're getting the ball into the hands of Charles Robert, and you can trust his decision-making. Now it becomes, can you execute? That's what has to be done, because you don't want to go down too early, too big against this Victoria Vikes squad.
Here's Zach John. He can fly. He's got all 5 Gator points so far. John's come a long way since arriving at Bishops. The line that McLean had for him as McDougall nearly reached the turnover. His coach said he makes passes you can't really teach. So the Gators going a little smaller here as Etienne Gagnon, 6'7", comes off. Reggie Jean Serafin, 6'5", replaces him. 2 small guards on the floor for the Gators. Here's Joffrey James. Through the lane. No call. Melanda loses it again out of bounds. Collided with McDougall. Somebody lost one of their overpriced beers courtside, and it's going to be Victoria ball.
Well, never shy of getting to it. We already know Tyrion McDougall can leave it on the line, does leave it on the line every single game. And that's just another example. He dries off that adult beverage with his jersey. I like it.
Coach, I swear it's just water. What a pass inside, but Jean Serafin caught with his hand in the cookie jar. So Tyler Felt to the line, and quickly Gagnon is back after Jean Serafin collects his second personal. Fell, the freshman from Victoria, 6'9". Let's go. So much trust they have in this rookie, who they expect will make a big jump next season when Ethan Bogue leaves to graduation. The Victoria lead is 8. Robert going to work and draws the foul. Sergio Pereira, there aren't many players in U Sports basketball who have a size advantage lengthwise on Robert, but Sergio Pereira's got 2 inches on him.
Yep, and there's even few players with a skill advantage on Charles Robert, like you saw on that last take. Didn't get it to go, but you love him getting to the free throw line.
The U Sports Women's Hockey Championship coming up in a couple of weeks, March 19th to 22nd. You can watch right here on CBC Sports Gym and the CBC Sports YouTube page. Robert is used to drawing so much attention. He gets doubled on the touch almost every time in the RSEQ conference. He has been such a threat in Quebec University basketball. The biggest piece to Bishop's turning their entire basketball program around was landing Charles Robert 5 years ago. Joffrey James, the stop, the hesitation, and the bucket.
That's right. You see Joffrey James getting to it now. A guy who's shooting 3 on 5, making sure to score efficiently and giving you defense as well.
John can't finish this time. Felt comes down with the rebound. Ethan Bogue can run. Ethan Bogue off the window. Murphy Bernikowski, the Vikes coach, wanted a foul. Didn't look like much contact there. As Malanda attacks James, kicks to McDougall. And you might hear the go, go, go. That's the Victoria coaching staff wanting pace. Bogue elbows Gagnon. Here's Ryan Gallagher. And the teardrop won't fall. So Vic started on a 7-0 run. Things have settled down as Robert has a bit of a lane and finishes with the right hand. He's comfortable going both. That's the matchup we want to see. Two All-Canadians going head-to-head, Robert and Bogue.
Get the ball to Robert and clear out the way like you just saw the Gators do and let him work in the isolation. Great take right there.
And great triple from Tyler Felt. What a start for this rookie. He's got the ability to shoot. Has had multiple 20-point games this season for Victoria. As McDougall gets by Bogue over the outstretched arms. How about 5'9" Tiernan McDougall?
As the stop and go, lose the 6'9" Bogue and go high off the window with a slight kiss. There goes Tiernan McDougall now.
Senior out of Vancouver, unrecruited, coming out of high school. We'll tell you his story a little later on tonight. Robert on Bogue, bucket and one for the big fella.
How about a little strength and finesse in the same possession? We talked about how Charles Robert can do it all. There he is showing it to you. Back that guy up, get the touch, give you 2, possibly 1 more.
Talked to Robert last night about this matchup. He said, I got to go at him early. He has, and when the free throws start to fall, Robert, that gets him so much more comfortable. Completes the three-point play. And all of a sudden, Bishops only trails by 4. 90 seconds to go in the first quarter. OBDK in the middle of it. Smith was able to control possession. Here's Gallagher. Ryan Gallagher finding some space. Doesn't fall. Gators have numbers. Robert back to DK. And now it's Felt on Robert. So is Victoria willing to do that? As Bogue comes off, will they go with the freshman? No, now it's Smith. They're going with the senior on Robert.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate there for Robert because you know he wanted to take advantage of the freshman on the inside. Didn't get the opportunity to do it, but look out for that mismatch later in this game.
Final minute, first quarter. Ronaldo Robinson has base. Shot gets redirected. Gators ball. The Vikes, the #1 team in the country, the defending national champions, took home the Canada West title this season. Bishops is here as the wild card. They lost at home in the RSEQ championship game. Zach John, no good on threes. One and done possession there for Bishops. DK hounding Robinson. Murphy Bernikowski, year 2 head coach at Victoria. Now Smith on Gagnon, nowhere to go. Here's Dylan Gage through the lane. Final shot inside 10 seconds. Here's the All-Canadian. Charles Robert over Smid, left hand finish. Robert has 9. What an opening quarter for the All-Canadian, and what a start to this national semifinal. We expected it to be a thriller, and what a start. Back to Calgary, second quarter after this, the Final 8 on CBC.
Life just got real. You got into university. Fully furnished, all-inclusive student housing for peace of mind. This is your first taste of adult life, independence, momentum, possibility. A community that's ready for you, with everything you need to be your best self. Space to focus, enough room to breathe. A place that's truly yours, with space for the people you'll meet along the way. Minutes from campus. Student Housing Calgary. This is where it starts.
Welcome back to the Jack Simpson Gymnasium, where we're joined by the Vikes' former team manager, Jordan Meinhardt, who does not look like his LinkedIn picture, by the way. Based in Calgary now, how does it feel to be out here supporting your former team as they chase a second straight national championship?
It feels good. When I thought they were coming here, I was excited. They needed to get here, and then they did the job, and now they're here. So I decided to show support with my helmet and everything. So.
Well, you've got some visual aids here. Give me a scouting report on some of your buddies.
Ethan Bogue. He's a tall guy. He does the work inside, but he's a threat from the three. He can knock it down for sure. We're moving on to Shaden Smith. High flyer, but it's not all just show. He can get it done in and out. He's efficient. And the brains behind everything, Josh Reddy, the assistant coach. He can do it all. He's the coach now. He's a legend for the Victoria Vikes.
Thank you so much for this, Jordan. Arash, Jermaine, you might have someone challenging you for your commentator roles.
You know, Cammie, I'd love to know what his LinkedIn profile actually is, because we might be in some trouble. Here's Ronaldo Robinson, second quarter underway, national semifinal. There's Smith, he traveled. And our guest talked about Shaden Smith and all he can do. You know, until 2 years ago, Shaden Smith had not shot a single three. Now he's 30% from distance.
And there it is. That just goes to show you the hard work being put in by Shaden Smith over these last couple of years. Teammates encouraging him, coaching staff encouraging him. Shoot the ball. And now you see how great of a three-point shooter he has become in these last 2 years.
And what a tip in there from Yanis Malanda, the Gators' second leading scorer. Shaving the lead down to 2. Physicality, top of the key, no whistles. Ronaldo Robinson with 12 on the shot clock. He's gonna fire. And it's Malanda who soars for the rebound. "13 boards apiece for both teams. The triple no good. A lot of one and dones here for both teams. Significant size on both the Bishops and Victoria rosters. There's James with the runner. Low percentage shot. Rebound number 5 for Charles Robert to accompany his 11 points already. Now Melanda. Gagnon tries to get it. Instead, it's Robinson. Ronaldo Robinson, a senior from Montreal. The Vikes' second leading scorer. Cam Slaymaker gets the whistle after what appeared to be one too many moves, but got away with it.
Yeah, that's a tough break right there for the Gators, as that was really good defense, forcing the ball out of the hands of somebody like Joffrey James and like Ronaldo. It's not easy to do.
And so now a breather for Charles Robert. So the Bishops All-Canadian steps off with 1 minute and 50 seconds gone by in this second quarter. Victoria without its All-Canadian power forward. Smith on Gagnon. Two seniors in the front court. And that time James couldn't finish. Jean Seraphin absolutely chased down by Shaden Smith. Can Victoria convert? No. That would have brought the house down if he could have followed up what he started.
What an athlete Shaden Smith is. You see it on both sides.
DK no. Melanda the follow. Tie game. The Vikes led by 9, 18-9. It's been an 11-2 Bishops run since. Slaymaker, yes. How long will Charles Robert remain on the bench for Bishops? Here's a triple. Evans Anzishetti, no. Controlled by Melanda. Such a dynamic player, this sophomore from Montreal. And it rattles home. So Melanda now has 4, along with 6 rebounds. And the game is tied. Bishops withstood the storm early as Slaymaker is bailed out again. So initially with a bunch of moves in the paint, this time on the drive, and free throws coming up for the sophomore from Coquitlam.
You saw it in yesterday's game, and you're seeing it here again. Cameron Slaymaker's movement without the basketball is something to be studied. And if you're Bishops, you have to account for that. You know he's going to be curling, looking to go to the middle of the key and create for himself. So stuff things up a little bit. Make it a little bit more uncomfortable for him, because right now it's coming to him too easy.
Yeah, Slaymaker, 6'4". He really found his rhythm in the second semester. Out of Terry Fox High School, spent some time at Southern Nazarene University, has now found a home on Vancouver Island. Slaymaker has 4 points. Victoria leads by 2. They want pace, they want tempo. And Melanda slows things down with a foul.
Yeah, you like this foul if you're Bishops right now. You're going to stop the fast break, and if you're Melanda, you're just going to take one. You're already down a player in the backcourt, so now you get a chance to set your defense up, and you get 21 seconds here to get a good crack at potentially stopping a Victoria basket.
Slaymaker runs into Gagnon. Here's the mismatch. Here's Dylan Gage on Tiernan McDougall. 6'5" on 5'9". Doesn't go, but Gagnon can't pull it down. Robert comes back. So, the breather about 2 minutes and 40 seconds for the All-Canadian. Immediately the Vikes counter, bringing Shaden Smith in. Ethan Bogue remains on the bench for Victoria. He only has the one foul. The Vikes have used Sergio Pereira more than they ordinarily would in the first quarter because of the size. 6'11", Pereira has 2 personals. Slaymaker can't get it to go, and the rebound brought in by Jean Seraphin. And then not a smart foul there from Joffrey James.
Yeah, it is a smart foul right there. You see that Bishop's had numbers going. Old KG Joffrey James said, hey, let me stop this up and give us a chance now to set up defensively with 21 on the shot clock.
Victoria, the top seed for the 3rd time in 4 years at this Final 8. Until last year, they had not won a national championship since 1997. The following March, Bishops won their only national title in school history, and there's Tiernan McDougall, and the Bishops Gators have their first lead of the evening on that triple.
So fitting. How can you not be rooting for a guy like Tiernan McDougall? He's told you how no one recruited him, and he had to get it out the mud. Though to see him thrive in this Final 8 tournament, can't help but feel great for the young man.
Here's Zach John. Add a little space. Not going to shoot it. Robert is he going to go to work on Smith? Back to John. Looks at Robinson. Drives on Robinson. Here's Griffin Arnott in transition. Kim Slaymaker finishes. Timeout, Matt McLean and the Bishops Gators. We have ourselves a basketball game. Back to Calgary and this national semifinal on CBC Sports after these.
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Welcome back to the Jack Simpson Gymnasium. Arash and Jermaine just talking about Tiernan McDougall and how he had to fight tooth and nail to get here. Didn't play at a major high school. His only tryout at VIU got canceled during the pandemic. So he hears about CJEP and reaches out to 5 teams, including Champlain, where now Gators bench boss Matt McLean was. They built a strong winning culture there. He was able to parlay that into getting a shot with Bishops. And McDougall says he's never questioned the goal of making a U Sports squad. He said, regardless, if I'm going to get a tackle game defensively, I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I bring to the table. He's got to be a dog on the bone. He sank 4 threes in last night's quarterfinal win against Acadia as one of the smaller players in the tournament. McDougall added, you got to be a knockdown shooter, whether you're short or tall. It's got to be in your bag, and he has no option to do that but to go out and be a pest and be kind of crazy. His parents and brother are watching from Vancouver, but he's got plenty of family from the Calgary area in the house, and he actually played at the Jack during an ID camp for the Dinos when he was 14, and he's certainly giving them a lot of reason to cheer. And hopefully he's dried off from diving into that fan's drink on the sideline. Arash?
Yeah, he has dried himself off, although he still remains hot, Cammie. It's a great story. McDougall has 5 points tonight. So yeah, at a Lord Byng secondary school in Vancouver, not one CCAA coach, not one U Sports coach showed interest. And what a story that Cammie shared, that he never lost faith as Bogue misfires on the 3. And one thing Tiernan, as he wrestles for that loose ball, going with effort, told us, he said, I just do not care what others think of me. I have confidence in myself, and I know what I can do. He's short on the 3 there. And now here he is as a senior getting significant minutes. Started 12 of the Gators' 19 games this season.
And you love that for Tiernan McDougall. 5'9", like we said, and anytime you're playing at this level of athletics, especially in basketball, and you're 5'9", and you're thriving on a team that is having an unbelievable season, you have that extra gear. You have that dog in you, and you've seen it. Not only in yesterday's game, you're seeing it here tonight as well.
Slaymaker making plays, driving left. Cam has 8. Zach John, pull up. Gagnon, and the Gators will set it up. Malanda on Slaymaker. The spin, pass deflected by James, the best defender in the Canada West Conference. And McDougall draws the charge.
Whew. Oh boy. Safe.
Freight train coming through.
Saved by the whistle on that one. He's going to see that charge picked up right there, but I tell you, Robert almost got it. Got to understand when you're dealing with Shaden Smith, elite lane filler. Look out below. Tell you, up and over. Post whistle, but you love the athleticism.
All for naught there for Smith. Meanwhile, here it is. Bogue on Robert. The help comes. The swing. DK 3. All created because Charles Robert is that much of a weapon. Zach John called on the bump.
And you see it here from Victoria. You've got good guard action up the top now, whether it's Slaymaker and now in this most recent take Gallagher. Plenty of DHOs here on the perimeter, and what Victoria is doing is forcing contact on the drive, so you're able to pick up these tic-tac fouls this far away from the basket.
Bogue on Etienne Gagnon. Etienne right there with him and still the finish. How good is Ethan Bogue? 5th player in UVic history to win Canada West Player of the Year. How good is Charles Robert, the first-team All-Canadian?
Tell you, took it personal, did Charles. How about it? Spin over the left, go up and under and finish. Real finesse.
Free throws coming up. Robert has 13. What a ball game.
Seriously. In every effect, we knew that these two were going to be going at it, and sure enough, they are. It's both ends of the floor here between Victoria and Bishop, shot for shot.
Joffrey James had 17 last night in the Vikes win over the Calgary Dinos. Averages 12 points a game, already has 10 as we come up on 2 minutes remaining in the first half. This game tied at 32. Winner gets Carleton in the national championship game tomorrow. Robert on Smith. There's the foul. How crafty Robert is.
Exactly, and I love the fact that Robert is calling for the basketball. Demonstrative. He's got Smith in his back pocket. He says, give me the rock right now, see if I can go to work.
That's 2 on Smith. So he comes off. Sergio Pereira at 6'11" comes back in. He's got 2 personals. He's now trying to defend Robert. The kick to John. And Gagnon corrals it. McDougall for 3. Way off. And now both teams are just settling things down. Let's slow down the pace a little. Bogue at the top, working on Gagnon. 5 on the shot clock. Over to James. Ball up for grabs. Zach John comes up with it. Robert waiting for some room. Tapped away by Bogue. Works on the big fella and draws the foul. Not the foul that deep that Ethan Bogue wants to commit.
Definitely not, man. And what is Charles Robert on here in the second quarter? You're seeing this guy call for the ball every single time. And whether it's Shaden Smith or Ethan Bogue on his back, he wants the ball. And all game long, to this point, he has been providing. You love guys that show up when the lights are the brightest.
So that's 2 on Bogue, who steps off the floor with 67 seconds to go in the half. So the Vikes are not going to risk Bogue picking up a third. Robert's first miss from the line. He is 3 of 4 from the stripe tonight. Not only an air ball, but a loose ball foul called on Bishops, which is significant because the Gators are over the limit, and now it's free throws the other way for the Vikes. Matt McLean wants an explanation. You can understand why. Belanda has 2 fouls. He'll step off. Fei Zhang and Matt McLean will agree to disagree. Meanwhile, after all of that, this is Dylan Gage, a sophomore from Mill Bay, BC. A real big guard at 6'5". He'll actually play shooting guard, small forward, power forward for the Vikes. Knocks down both free throws. Was good enough to play, didn't much last year on the Vikes' run to a national championship. And now more contact away from the play, and that's Pereira's third. So Bogue's got 2. Pereira's got 3, and now the Vikes going deep into their bench.
And now you see that unseen talent here from Charles Robert. The ability to draw defenders, regardless of who it is, into contact. And this is what you get when you got a guy who's real cagey and real great with his feet and his hands as well. He's just racking up fouls on that entire Victoria front court, and now they've got some serious decisions to make.
So for the first time in this Final 8, Scott Morozov on the floor for Victoria. The Vikes in foul trouble, forced to go deep into their bench. Robert 1 of 2. His roommate, the rebound and the putback, Etienne Gagnon, his first points of the evening. Gators lead by 1. DK on James. The triple. No good. Into the hands of Gagnon. Dylan Gage misfired. John sensed there was pressure coming from behind. He's slowed down. 10-second differential shot and gain. There's John on the penetration. Robert backs off to avoid being called for the foul, and Victoria can hold for the final possession. Joffrey James has range. And at the half, the Gators lead by 1 on the Vikes, where the story has been what we expected it to be on one side, Charles Robert with 14 and 5, but for the Vikes, foul trouble becoming a real factor as the teams head into the locker room. Before they do, let's go down to Cami Kepke.
Well, we're down here with Matt McLean. The Gators trailing by as many as 9 in this game, claw back to take the lead. What did it take from this group to get things back on track?
I think we just had to really lean in on our rebounding. That's what we do best. So just really getting after the offensive glass and making sure we're limiting them to one shot.
On the broadcast, we've been talking about Tiernan McDougall's unlikely journey to U Sports. What impact has he had for this team?
Yeah, I mean, he's undersized, but he's a winner. He makes winning plays. He hits big shots, big moments. So this is the perfect environment for him.
Finally, what's it going to take to close this out against the reigning national champions?
They're gonna go on some runs in the second half, so we just got to be solid, make sure we limit them to one shot, and play a full 20 minutes.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
We have more after this. You're watching semifinal action, U Sports Men's Final 8 basketball on CBC.
Le sport en direct sur ICTout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles. Des athlètes de grand talent. Des sports de haut niveau. Tout ça sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est simple et gratuit sur ICTout.tv.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
It's a tight one right now here at the Jack. Bishops is up 35-34. Well, we have the opportunity to have a few fun profiles with some of the best student athletes in this tournament. One of them is a tremendous two-way player that's traveled all over the country and now plays for the Victoria Vikes. Here is Ronaldo Robinson.
Hello, I'm Ronaldo. I am a fourth-year student at UVic, and I'm in child and youth care. I had 2 options actually. One day my dad took me to the center, basketball center. I don't know what it was, to be honest, as a young kid. And I had 2 options. One was facing the door outside, which was soccer. And one on the right was leading towards the gym. And then I chose the gym because it was too cold outside that day. So I was like, yep. And that's how I started playing basketball. Yeah, win or loss, just having a good, positive attitude going towards having faith in each other. Yeah, having faith in each other, just staying close. I would say that's the biggest success we've had. Because I get to be with my guys for the last time, basically. That is why I'm here competing.
Fantastic story about a fantastic player. Right now it's 35-34. You are watching U Sports Final 8 on CBC.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
Feel every hit, point, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline. Our passionate team unlocks a world of possibilities with digital broadcasting made simple, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. Proudly Canadian, ISI Live, be there.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Well, a lot has been said about Charles Robert. We've seen how effective he has been in this game. He has been a pillar in the post for Bishops, and he has had opportunities to go down and play in the NCAA. You've heard that about him. There's so many stories we could go on and on, but let's hear from the student athlete himself. Here is Charles Robert.
Hi, my name is Charles. I'm a fifth-year mathematics major for Bishops University. When I was younger, I tried out a couple of sports, hockey, soccer, and then I think basketball just stuck with me. I mean, I'm tall too, so that helps, you know. My style of play is like kind of at my own pace. I'm not the fastest guy, but I'm strong, you know, and I'm able to get the openings for myself. So I play at my own pace, and I just play. I play to myself, not what the defense gives me. You know? For me, success beyond the wins and losses is like day to day, how you see yourself improving. I mean, the wins and losses are going to happen. There's like variance and stuff, but I think it's all about like how you see yourself evolve over a certain period of time rather than like the actual result on paper. And keys to our team's success this year, I'd say, have been just being together and like really using our size. We're a bigger team, so we've been able to use our size well. And then the guys who are smaller, they're really good shooters, so having that inside-out game is really good for us. It's a lot of work, I can't lie. Being a U Sports student athlete is it's pretty demanding. It takes up a lot of time, but at the end of the day, the reward is worth the labor, so it's fun. My team is looking forward to competing because it's been 5 years that we've been together. A lot of guys are, like I said, 4 to 5 years we've been on the same team together, and this is, I feel like, the culmination of everything, so we're trying to end everything on a good note.
Well, Charles has done a fantastic job on and off the court. Specifically in this game, we talked about how dominant he's been. He is potentially a half from visiting the national championship for this school's first time since 1998. We'll see if he can find that path. It's been a tremendous one for him so far. We'll see if he can get to it. You're watching Final 8 U Sports on CBC.
Where exceptional student athletes are born. Where records are broken. Where great plays are made. Where school colors ignite passion. Where champions prevail. Where tradition is celebrated. Ontario University Athletics.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan. A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
Life just got real. You got into university. Fully furnished, all-inclusive student housing for peace of mind. This is your first taste of adult life, independence, momentum, possibility. A community that's ready for you, with everything you need to be your best self. Space to focus, enough room to breathe. A place that's truly yours, with space for the people you'll meet along the way. Minutes from campus. Student Housing Calgary. This is where it starts.
We're back with Vikes head coach Murphy Bernatowski. Your team leading by as many as 9 points in the first half, but the Gators are able to claw back. What's your assessment of your team's play so far?
Yeah, we had a good start, but then we just kind of got stagnant on offense and, didn't move the ball as much as we wanted to. Played a little bit of hero basketball offensively, and then on the defensive end, we gave them exactly what they wanted. They got a lot of offensive rebounds, and Robert's been having his way, so we just got to clean up some of the things we talked about. There's a lot of basketball left to play.
We saw you really looking to the depth of your bench. How can this group balance playing aggressively with avoiding foul trouble, especially when a guy like Robert knows how to draw a call?
Yeah, you just got to do your work early. If you let him catch it too low, or if you let him get to his spots, he's really tough. So, and you can't guard him with one, you got to guard him with five. So we got to do a better job helping out our bigs. But at the end of the day, this is a man's game, and our guys got to step up.
Finally, you're 1 half away from trying to clinch a return to the championship game. Just what message did you leave your players with?
They've been here. They know what this moment means, and they have all the experience, so they know what it takes. I don't need to send any message to them.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Arash Jermaine, take it away.
Yeah, Cami, what an interesting point that was from Murphy Bernatowski. You can't guard Robert with one. You got to guard Robert with five.
Most certainly. Heck, you probably guard him with 6 if you could. Robert gives you that kind of varied offense. And one thing I love about what Murphy Bernatowski said as well, he's catching the ball way too low, him being Robert. Force him a little bit. Maybe we'll see if the coverage changes. Maybe give him a front. See if we can sandwich him in a little bit. Keep him away from that painted area and force him to create from the three-point line.
Yeah, Robert is 14, a game high, has 5 rebounds to accompany it. As we take a look at the numbers from the opening half, look, foul trouble is going to be a real point of emphasis that we're going to watch as this second half unfolds. But numbers-wise, nothing really jumps off the page.
No, and that's representative in the score we see of these two teams are fairly even, with Bishops being up by 1. But again, when we're talking about fouls, those are going to lead to free throws. And 7 for 8 is a pretty good number here for the Vikes. And you saw in a couple drives when Slaymaker was able to get to the cup and start to create for himself as well. So if Victoria can keep on the pressure, keep those good rolls coming off of some good high screen action, get going downhill to the basket, get yourself to the free throw line, a place where you've shown to be very proficient to the tune of 87.5% tonight.
So Victoria got out to a 7-0 lead. Bishops withstood that early storm. They took a couple of leads. They're up 35-34 at the half. Everything has gone through Charles Robert, as we expected him to. If you're just joining us, Robert, a fifth-year senior from Vaudreuil, Quebec. He has been everything for this program over the last 5 years. From the time he stepped on campus, an impact player. And now 2 quarters away from Bishops having a chance to get back into the national championship game for the first time since 1998.
You already know these two teams were going to bring it to each other. And golly, what a first half here from Charles Robert. Not only the unbelievable offensive output to the tune of 14 points, but again, when you're able to stack up fouls against this very, very tough Victoria front court, you're forcing Murphy Bernatowski to go deep into his bench, and that's only going to work to your benefit here if you're Bishops. The question becomes, can you continue that same push, in this second half, because that is your key to victory here tonight.
For those of you up late in the Eastern Townships, thank you on the mighty Massawippi Shore. On Vancouver Island, we welcome those of you watching your Victoria Vikes. What a semifinal this has started out to be. Number 1 in the country, Vikes. Bishops in as the at-large team after being upset in their conference title game last Saturday. This is Ethan Bogue, the Canada West Player of the Year. And I don't know if Smith got a fingertip on it or not, but a bucket for the Vikes. OBDK for 3. Money. DK in his final year with the Gators, one of 8 seniors for Bishops. There's Bogue. He can shoot it. And
and it doesn't go.
Now, Ethan Bogue, this is someone you need to step up a little bit here offensively. Talk about the Canada West Player of the Year. Now, the guy is getting to his spots. You've seen before in the past, he can really get it going from range. He's getting the shots he wants, but right now, not falling. Victoria is going to need him to really jump up here this effort in the second half if they look to get that lead back.
Well, Robert gets it, moves, double, Slaymaker. 7 on the shot clock for the Gators. It was an effortless entry pass in. You saw where the help came. Swatted away by Smith. Another second ticking off the shot clock. And it's almost as if this entire game, when Bishops has possession, is how may they get it to Robert, picked off by the best defensive player in Canada West. Now Smith finds Bogue, kick to Slaymaker. And Malanda got a piece of it to redirect that shot. DK, heat check. Ronaldo Robinson. Slaymaker off the screen. And into the hands of DK. Here's Gagnon in transition. And Etienne Gagnon finishes for the Gators.
I want to talk about that defensive adjustment now you're seeing from Bishops. In the first half, guys like Slaymaker were curling into the basket pretty much untouched. You see how they packed the paint, forcing him to throw that ball out, and an unbelievable steal there from DK going the other way.
At 6'7", Gagnon actually is terrific in transition for Bishops. It's Robinson working on him there. No good, one and done. Jean Sarafin collects the rebound. Bishops +5 on the glass tonight. Robert has space, working on Smid, draws the triple. Here's Jean Sarafin for 3. It'll be Victoria ball. Low-scoring national semifinal, Gaiters Vikes. Victoria put up 100 last night against the Calgary Dinos. Bishops got to 98 against Acadia, and Smid's going to the line for free throws. Really nice half-court set there from the Vikes.
Yeah, little high-low action, and this is the exact point you want to see Shaden Smith get to. Set a screen there on the elbow, get a hard dive to the basket, and you know he can do the rest. You're going to see right there the perfectly placed pass into the pocket there for Smith. Gets touched up, doesn't get it to go, but now he's got a chance to get a couple with the clock stopped.
So Smith, who had 16 last night against Calgary, an 81.6% free throw shooter. One of those gym rats who has developed so much in his 4 years on campus. And the lead is back down to 2. Neither team has led this game by double figures. Victoria's biggest advantage, 9. Bishop's biggest lead, 4. Wild shot from Malanda that doesn't go. Robinson brings it in. Slaymaker runs into traffic. Bogue the handoff back to Robinson, and Smith is fouled. Gagnon didn't like the call, but that was just terrific work by Victoria to get that ball moving.
And again, that's exactly where you want Shaden Smith, set up in that dunker spot, looking to get lobs up top where no one else can reach him. Now it's up to Bishops now to make some adjustments on the interior to keep Smith away from that restricted area.
You know, it's interesting. You think about Victoria and what's given them success. As we remind you, next weekend,
The Women's Volleyball Nationals are taking place in Langley, BC. You can watch it on CBC Sports Gem, CBC Sports YouTube page. Smid knocks down both. The Vikes, who have now tied it, they're not an easy team to scout because they play off of instincts. Yes, they have set plays, but so much of what they do is off read and react as DK gets the underneath layup there. They've just played freely for 2 years on the offensive side of the ball, Victoria.
Yep, and the biggest factor that goes into that, and the fact that you can play freely, is you've got a bunch of high IQ players that you trust, that can make the right decision. And you've seen here over the past 2 seasons, that has indeed been the case for Coach Murphy in trusting his players on the floor.
So McDougall didn't like the call. Did he actually hit, or was it all ball?
For me, it looked like he may have got a little bit of wrist, but hey, you know, you take it. If you're cheering to McDougall, you're going to make Ronaldo earn it from the line. Nothing easy inside.
Meanwhile, with 5:56 to go in the third, Ethan Bogue comes off for a breather. Charles Robert remains in the game. Bogue has the 2 personals. He's only been on the floor for 17 minutes. So they want to keep him fresh for down the stretch. Charles has collected 21 minutes on the night. He goes to work on Victoria's best defender. McDougall now, way too strong. Joffrey James, the rebound. Here's Felt, swung out to Robinson. The runner, Money. Back and forth they go. 10 lead changes tonight. Here's Malanda working on Slaymaker. Smid, the rebound. Robinson has to slow it down. James for 3. And it's tapped into the hands of McDougall, who slows it down. Or maybe not. Here's Gagnon. The tip from Malanda is short. And free throws for Bishops. They called Slaymaker on the loose ball foul. And what a break for the mighty Gaiters of Bishop's University there. Timeout on the floor. Wild one brewing in Calgary.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Charles Robert is not only one of the best players on the court, he may be one of the smartest. At the end of the day, it is about being a student athlete, and he has been studying mathematics, and he has won numerous amount of awards. He won the Male Academic Student Award at Bishops, and he's been named an Academic All-Canadian, and he won the highest honor any academic student can have, the Chancellor's Excellent Scholarship Award. So Arash and Jermaine, you see the smarts on the court and you see it off the court as well. Well-rounded, every sense of the word.
Josh, a 96 to 97% average in the math program. His professor, Francis Huard, talks about how engaged Charles is in the classroom. He has never missed a Friday morning lecture, even after Thursday night road trips and getting back late. This year in an independent study course, Professor Huard challenged Robert to teach him one of his research topics in category theory, and Charles Robert did.
Understand the dedication it takes to not only excel on the floor as a premier scorer in all of youth sports, but to be one in the classroom as well. A teacher's dream, a coach's dream. Charles Robert is that guy.
And his roommate, Etienne Gagnon, a senior from Longueuil with the triple. Gagnon averages a double-double a night. He's got 7 points and 7 rebounds now. Zach John hands it off to McDougall, nearly picked off by Robinson. John saw the opening and he took it.
Smart play right there. Look off the defense, stay under control, and get you a nice little running push shot from the free throw line. That is easy bread.
Zach John, super quick, change of pace. Matt McLean, his coach, just calls him fearless. Into the corner. The three, no. From Dylan Gage. Largest lead of the night for the Gators. Bogue about to check back in for the Vikes. Gagnon again! Back-to-back triples for the senior. Gators lead by 9. And a late whistle, but the right call for Tyler Felt. But how about Etienne Gagnon, the senior, who can absolutely knock down buckets?
It's not every day you get a hard hat type player who has a stroke. Look at Etienne Gagnon from the parking lot. Splash that thing. Confidence and execution. Oh boy, here comes Etienne Gagnon.
He and Robert, they have that high-low stuff. They've got that locked down. But more than that, not only can Gagnon shoot it, but they feel on the defensive end, he's just so switchable. He told us the other day, hey, look, I can guard 1 through 5. We've seen him guard 2 through 5 so far through 2 games.
Remember, everyone, this is 6'9". Defensive guy taking pride in saying, I can guard 1. And he looked at himself as the fastest player on the floor. And you watch him play, the guy runs like a gazelle, gets up and down the floor, and has a hard-nosed attitude. What, was this guy made in a lab or something? This is crazy.
Back in Lennoxville, they're loving this lead as John has it taken away. Now Robinson gives it up to Slaymaker, who works on Melanda. And McDougall forces the turnover. Two and a half minutes to go in the third quarter. Carlton on deck for the winner of this one. Robert, we haven't said his name in a while. Zach John drills it. The Gators have hit 7 threes tonight. They average 10 threes a game for the season. Double-digit lead. First time for either team as Robinson steps back. Splash. Zach John draws the block.
Right idea right there from Ryan Gallagher, but he's set up, unfortunately, in that restricted area, and you're going to see Zach John, like we've said before, fearless, unafraid, go right up and over Ryan Gallagher get the foul call, and now he's got a chance for some free throws.
A little more size on the floor for Bishops as Gagnon checks back in. John's quickness is such a factor. 76% free throw shooter. And we talked to Mike Leslie, Acadia's coach, before last night's game, the Gators knocking off the Axemen. He talked about John being just such a downhill threat.
I feel like it's so fitting he wears number 6 because he's usually the first guy off the bench. And like Mike Leslie said yesterday, you have to account for him. The guy is a fire starter. He's got such a great joy, a great way about him to get everyone else involved. It's contagious.
12 points in 15 minutes for Zach John. Malanda forces the turnover, finds Robert. And Robinson returns the favor in transition. And free throws coming up. What a play by Ronaldo Robinson. Gagnon taking his time before getting up. Robinson, a senior from Montreal, went to Westmount High School, then to Dawson College for his Cégep, is Victoria's second leading scorer. And the good news is it appears Gagnon, who went down hard, is okay.
He did. What a smart play there in the open floor from Ronaldo. You see Robinson just kind of, once that back step was established on Gagnon, that's when he took it into the chest and nowhere for him to go. Smart play on the move there from Ronaldo Robinson.
Robinson's just turned it on since the playoffs began. He's talking about how much he's been waiting for this. Took a little time to find his stride, but then dumped 34 on UBC in the Canada West Final last Saturday. Gators by 7, a minute to go in the third. McDougall buckets. Tiernan McDougall has 7 off the bench. Robinson in traffic. Gets it back. Pops. Malanda's open underneath. And the pass just had a little too much spice from Zach John. Now Ethan Bogue on Robert, all Canadian on all Canadian. Got the shot off, couldn't finish. Shot clock turned off. The Gators can hold. Zach John being guarded by Ryan Gallagher. 5 seconds. John, left, Malanda at the horn. What a third quarter by the Bishops Gators. Outscoring the Victoria Vikes by 8 points. Searching for their first national championship berth in 28 years. Fourth quarter coming up from Calgary.
Life just got real. You got into university. Fully furnished, all-inclusive student housing for peace of mind. This is your first taste of adult life, independence, momentum, possibility. A community that's ready for you, with everything you need to be your best self. Space to focus, enough room to breathe. A place that's truly yours, with space for the people you'll meet along the way. Minutes from campus. Student Housing Calgary. This is where it starts.
Feel every hit, point, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline. Our passionate team unlocks a world of possibilities with digital broadcasting made simple, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. Proudly Canadian, ISI Live, be there.
Well, nobody waves the flag for the Bishops Gaiters quite like Buddy Harold does. He's a Bishops football alumni based in Calgary now. What's it been like coming out here and watching this team on a run to potentially the national championship game?
It's pretty exciting, let me tell you. I've been watching the Gaiters from afar here since we've moved to Calgary, and having all my friends and the Gaiters coming out here for the game. And the weekend has been fantastic. So we're super excited to be watching these guys and happy to be here live and in person with a bunch of awesome alumni.
You're also on the University Foundation Board of Directors. What impact has Bishops had on the course of your life, and why is it important for you to stay involved with youth sports?
Well, I played football back in the day, and playing for a team sport and a great team back in those days and now was awesome, and it's created some of the best friendships I've got 30 years later now.
Well, you get back to cheering now, buddy. Fun fact, he thought I was security telling him to put the flag away, but no, sir. We need to cheer both these teams on. Go for it, Arash.
Cammie, thanks so much. It was Buddy Harold who organized an impromptu alumni event for former Bishop students last night. More than 50 people showed up before arriving here at the Jack to watch the Gators knock off Acadia. Meanwhile, fourth quarter underway, and Cam Slaymaker absolutely going through the lane to shave the Bishops' lead to 7.
Contact now, and you're going to see Murphy. He's saying that there was a hole, but never mind that. Take a look at Cameron Slaymaker, like we got a heavy dose of in that first half, continuing to go into the lane and challenge the best shot blockers in all of ASRACQ, the nation as a whole. Great take.
Robert, pass deflected by Robinson. 3.8 on the shot clock. If you're just joining us, Victoria, the defending national champions. They won the Canada West Conference this year. Top seed in the Final 8 for the 3rd time in 4 years. Here's Etienne Gagnon as the shot clock expired. Bishops got into this tournament with the wildcard berth. The Gators were #1 in the country before losing the Quebec Conference Championship game to Laval last Saturday. Got the at-large berth, knocked off Acadia in the 4-5 game yesterday. Carleton Ravens back in the national championship game. Beat the TMU Bold early. Here's Ethan Bogue, the Canada West Player of the Year. Back to Smid. As the shot clock expires, it's Yanis Malanda who soars for the rebound.
I just want to talk about the defensive work that both Etienne Gagnon and Charles Robert have done on Ethan Bogue today. They have completely taken him out of being any type of comfortable at all, and essentially Bogue has been a non-factor due to the great defense by those Twin Towers down low.
Bogue only has 8 points, 1 rebound. As James, good. 4-point game. Here come the Victoria Vikes. Robert with time. Robert with space. Robert for 3. He has 17. Bogue off the fingertips, and he had it.
You know what that effect is right there? That is Bogue knowing that he's got footsteps behind him, that of Etienne Gagnon. That's the work he's been putting in all game, the defensive touching, constant physical contact on Ethan Bogue, again, preventing him from getting comfortable. Now you're starting to see why that's so important early on.
Well, Bogue steps off with 7:35 to go. For how long, we wonder. He's been on the floor for 22 minutes. Robert's logged 27. All Canadian on all Canadian. Now instead it's 6'11" Sergio Pereira on Robert. Malanda gets his own rebound. McDougall didn't get it off in time. These two teams last met in the national semifinal in 1998. The Vikes then were the defending national champions, as they are now. Robinson can't get it to go, but James collects it. Here's Robinson through the lane and one. And it's Ronaldo Robinson keeping the Vikes alive.
This is what it's going to take here. If you're Robinson, go right into the teeth of the D, and whether it's Gagnon or Robert waiting on you, take it into their chest, negate their shot blocking presence, and finish over the top.
He finishes the three-point play. Lead is cut to 4. Gaiters are going to go a little smaller. Reggie Jean Serafin in for Etienne Gagnon. Bogue remains on the bench for Victoria. Robert gets away with a walk. That should have been a double dribble. The big man now to Jean Serafin, has it blocked by Robinson. What can Robinson do? Now Joffrey James. 1-point game. Timeout, Matt McLean. The Victoria Vikes are back in it.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan. A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
.6:15 remaining fourth quarter. U Sports Final 8 national semifinal. Bishops and Victoria back and forth they've gone. Gators' biggest lead of the night, 10. The Vikes led by 9. It is a 1-point game. Here's Zach John. Won't go. Robert has it. Retreats. Jean Serafin through the lane. Robert took a minute to reestablish. And it's Joffrey James who emerges from the wreckage. Thought about it. James attacks Robert. Nearly an offensive goaltend. And it's Bishop's ball.
Well, Joffrey continues his tear. As you see, he made that 3 prior timeout. Great take right there. And unfortunately for him, not able to get it to go down. But the full court pressure look here for the Victoria Vikes is something I like for them. Let's see if they're able to get something out of it.
Robert clears out, finds DK, slips out. Robinson. And a late whistle, right call. OBDK with contact on Ronaldo Robinson.
Yeah, and the smart move there from Ronaldo Robinson is he just kind of pulls up waiting for something to happen, and unfortunately for DK, he just kind of kicks his foot from under him, and it's an easy call to make right in front of the official. Granted, it was late, but it did come eventually.
Second team foul for Bishops. Etienne Gagnon back in the game. Gators go big. Bogue remains on the bench for the Vikes. They're all Canadian. Robinson says, no matter, I got this. Ronaldo Robinson has 13. And the Vikes retake the lead. Back to Robert. Has it stripped by who else but Robinson. McDougall gets it back, and he's hit in the face. So now 2 team fouls apiece with 4:38 remaining in regulation. And it's Sergio Pereira now guarding Charles Robert. 6'11", fifth-year senior, doesn't get a lot of playing time. Gagnon, way off. Slaymaker the rebound. Robinson, step back. DKO set it up at the top. 9 on the shot clock for Robert. Back behind the back pass, but his roommate couldn't finish.
Perfect play right there. Slipping behind the sleeping defense was Gagnon, but unfortunately couldn't get it to go down.
Vikes by 1. Slaymaker stripped by Malanda. Gives it up to DK, who finishes in transition. Back and forth they go. 13 lead changes tonight. McDougall fighting for it. And the possession arrow to Bishops.
All game long, Giannis Malanda has been putting his body on the line, playing passing lanes, and getting out on the run. Look at him there. Cookies for him, gets on the run, hits DK in stride, and that is how you run a 2-on-1 fast break to perfection post steal. What a half-court play from them.
So with that layup, DK now has 10. 3 Gators in double figures. The same for the Vikes. Ethan Bogue back into the game for Victoria, the Conference Player of the Year in Canada West. No look pass. Robert to John. Charles Robert can dish too. 3-point Gators lead, under 3 minutes to go. Robinson to James. Some hand contact. 3 on the shot clock. James! No, and it's Zach John who snatches down the rebound. John left alone. And that hung in the air for a while. A loose ball foul on the Gators. That's team foul number 3. Not a bonus situation yet. And Robinson will take an extra breath before getting up.
Yeah, just kind of mistimed after the long bounce. You're going to see 2 hands on the back of Ronaldo Robinson. And that foul is indeed going to be called. It's going to be a great opportunity here for the Vikes to get a good look. The last couple times down the floor, not very good looks here. They've kind of been rushed in their offense. Let's see if they settle down and get one clean look.
Vikes with their starting 5. Gators with 4 starters and backup point guard Zach John. Too heavy on the drive. This is John, the ball handler. 2 minutes to go. Gators by 3. They haven't been to the national championship game since the 90s. the Bishops Gators. Charles Robert into traffic, spins left, no call, Smith the rebound. Inside to Bogue, and he's fouled. Now, was that a bucket? Was the backboard moved?
That's exactly how you want to look.
And they say 2 free throws.
It's a tough situation right there, and you see Murphy trying to say that after that ball was on the rim that the mess got yanked on. And I'm inclined to believe him. You see officials now talking it over. And you'll take a look right here as up and under goes Bogue, and we're going to see. It looks like that mesh did indeed get touched. To what degree, we'll find out, but yeah, looks like they're going to go with 2 free throws here.
Bogue is a 75% free throw shooter. It's both. 1-point game. We expected this to be the game of the tournament. It's lived up to all of it. Here's Charles Robert. Over Bogue. Doesn't fall. Smith the rebound. They're trying to find Bogue. They do. He has a step on Robert. Rattles out. Here's John, the push-off.
And it's not hard to blow this whistle. As you're going to see John get that left forearm way out, way too easy to make that call right there. And a good job by Ronaldo using those feet to stay in front and make sure that that foul was indeed called on John.
So Ronaldo Robinson has 13 points and 9 rebounds. That charge just as significant for the senior from Montreal. And the bigger the game, the bigger Ronaldo Robinson shows up. Had 34 on UBC last week in the Canada West final. A couple of years ago, scored 33 in the conference championship game. And you think about the season that Ronaldo Robinson has had. He didn't start from Halloween until the first game back in January. It was a 9-game stretch, trying to find a balance between being a point guard and a scorer. The new year, he finally found his stride. And now in this national semifinal, Ronaldo Robinson has carried the load for the Vikes. They trail one, 50.6 seconds remain. Robinson off the screen, through traffic. Smid can't get it twice. And it's a foul the other way. So the Vikes had so many chances there, it didn't work. Gagnon is still down for Bishops. And it looks like a little blood there.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think he caught an elbow up to the facial region trying to get that secondary rebound. We'll see here. There it was. Oh,
yeah, that's a foul. Murphy Barnikowski doesn't like it, but that's an elbow to the face.
That it is. Plain as day right there. And I hope Etienne Gagnon's okay. That's a tough dude.
So 13 foul on Victoria. And a timeout on the floor with 34 seconds to go. Matt McLean wants to talk things over. Gators lead by 1. They will inbound from underneath their own bucket. They've gone with their 4 starters and Zach John for the majority of this fourth quarter. What a game this has been. Charles Robert, 17 points, 7 rebounds in 34 minutes. Reggie-Jean Séraphin has fouled out, which is where the minutes for Zach John have come. Matt McLean, the National Coach of the Year in U Sports Basketball, played for these Gators as an undergrad. Just became a dad earlier this week. His wife Caitlin giving birth to their first child, a boy named River. And what a memorable week this could be for the McLean family. Meanwhile, Victoria with its starting 5. They have a foul to give. OBDK, the inbounder. The majority of the whistles we've had in this Final 8 have been away from the ball. What are the Gators going to run here? What kind of action, what kind of screens? Zach John, the senior point guard from Scarborough, Ontario. Cam Slaymaker, 6 inches taller, faces him. John blows by him. Dish, no good for Malanda. Here comes Robinson. Shot clock turned off. Robert knocks it away. DK to John, but it's over his head. Whoa. And with 4.9 seconds to go, timeout Victoria.
We're gonna see here, as despite the turnover on one end, DK trying to get the ball up to John, just inches over his grasp, unable to haul it in. And just like that, Victoria not out of it yet. 4.9 to try to make something happen.
Wow. Woo. What a ball game. The pass from DK just over the fingertips. The Vikes will inbound from their backcourt. Bishops is over the limit. They cannot foul. What a showcase of university basketball this is. Joffrey James will handle the inbound. As usual, the Bishops fans travel well. The starting 5. Will the ball go inside to number 7, the Canada West Player of the Year? It's Robinson off the screen for the win. No! And the Bishops Gators will play for a national championship on Sunday.
Wow! What a finish to this one right here. The door left open for Victoria, but Bishops, and it came down to a Charles Robert contest to prevent that shot. What a job.
"28 years after getting to their last one, the Bishops Gators will play for a national championship on Sunday evening in Calgary." raise a toast on the mighty Massawippi Shore.
Wow. Tell you, not for nothing though, these Victoria Vikes put up a fight literally until the last second.
So here it was, 4.9 seconds left. The Vikes trailed one, Ronaldo Robinson.
And that's who you want taking that shot as well. But guess who? Charles Robert with the unbelievable contest. 6'9", getting out on someone with great footwork like Robinson. Unbelievable job by him. And of course, in the game, securing the ball underneath, Etienne Gagnon, bloody nose and all.
Charles Robert had offers to go south of the border. Lucrative offers to leave Bishops. He stayed. He said there is unfinished business here. And now this first-team All-Canadian, one of the best players in the history of the Gaiters basketball program, getting it done everywhere. One win away from business being finished. What a run for the Victoria Vikes. We will have a new national champion in 2026. The Gaiters will face the Carleton Ravens.
Former Lieutenant Governor of Alberta.
The school from our national capital against the smallest undergraduate university in the country for the W.P. McGee Trophy.
Number 14, Ronaldo Robinson.
He did everything tonight. 13 points, 9 rebounds, was electric on the defensive end. First team All-Canadian a year ago. Had a chance, but what a contest by Charles Robert.
Team player of the game from the gold medal bound Bishop's Gaiters. Sixth man, number 0, Tiernan McDougall.
How fitting. The kid that nobody wanted coming out of high school is the player of the game. A game that'll send his university to a national championship for the first time in almost 3 decades.
7, 5, and 2 from Tiernan McDougall. That's right, I said 5. The guy's 5'9", 5 rebounds against one of the better rebounding teams in all of U Sports. Tiernan McDougall, 1 win away from immortality.
It was McDougall who told us this week, I know we belong here. The Gaiters.
And here you see him work. He's got a handle, he's got shots, but most importantly, he's got confidence. And boy, does he have cojones. Not afraid of anybody in front of him right now. And it was oh so fitting for him to get this well-deserved POG here tonight.
Last Saturday, these Gaiters lost the conference championship game at home. Tomorrow, they'll play for a national championship. Let's go to the floor in Cami Kepke.
Tiernan, unrecruited out of high school, knocked out by the Vikes in last year's nationals. Make it as a wild card. You win by a point. Now you will play for a national gold medal. Take me through what this journey and this opportunity means to you.
I mean, we're here. We worked so damn hard. We built a culture from the ground up with an amazing staff, amazing team, you know. Like, we deserve to be here. We know we're here. We didn't win RCQ, you know. We got a chip on our shoulder. It's time to get that ring.
Fans were so hyped for this matchup, and it delivered. We saw more than a dozen lead changes. You had 5 rebounds. What put the Gaiters over the top tonight?
Sure, I mean, just sticking together. I mean, shout out Coach Eddie Palmacala, national champion '98. You know, he gave us a great speech. He said, no matter what, teams go on runs, it's basketball. It's the teams that stick together, that don't panic, you know, and that's what we did. You know, we knew we were gonna win. Yeah.
How do you carry this momentum into a winner-take-all match against Carleton?
Stay focused, watch film, get better. Sure, I mean, we're here in Calgary, national championship. I don't know what else to tell you, but yeah, stick together and just win. You know, yeah, win.
Congratulations, Tiernan. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, thank you.
Arash, Jermaine, it's all you.
Well, Cammie, you look ahead to tomorrow. It is the epitome of David versus Goliath. The 17-time national champions going up against the smallest university in the country. They have built this program, 8 seniors on this team. It is going to be a treat tomorrow, and what a ball game this was. Came down literally to the final moment and the final shot.
Just like we knew it would. These two teams so evenly matched, and it showed throughout this one. Nip and tuck the entire way, and sure enough, it came down to the final possession. And Charles Robert, I can't get over how much space he had to make up to cover and contest an unbelievable shooter in Ronaldo Robinson. Hats off to the Victoria Vikes, dethroned as champions. But like we said, history will be made one way or another tomorrow. I can't wait to get it tipped.
All 6'9" of them was needed. The old Canadian Charles Robert. Unfinished business, he called it. Can the Gaiters get it done tomorrow? Can't wait to have it for you. Bishop's Carleton coming up on Sunday for the WP McGee Trophy, and we will be back at the University of Calgary for it. So for Josh Arbuthnot, Cammie Kepke, Jermaine Cummings, and our entire U Sports on CBC crew, Arash Madani saying so long from Southern Alberta. There will be a new national champion in 2026.